Welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SpeedGaming Live 2025 Mega Man 2 Randomizer Tournament's Winners Finals. My name is Charlie Boy. I'm joined here by LV Creed. What's up, Creed?
What's up? You just said it. We're in Grand Finals. We're about to get down to nitty-gritty with some of our best runners for the Mega Man 2 Randomizer. These two have been going through some interesting situations that the randomizer been giving them, and now these two are about to go up against each other to see who's going up to Grand Finals.
Yes, we are in Winners Finals. Next up, Grand Finals. We have 4 matches in this tournament. We're in top 4. We got 2% Chungus on the tracker, and without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and make sure these guys are ready and send them on their way. But yeah, what can you tell me about Siberian Bull 9 and Casual Tom?
Well, both of these runners are very much no strangers to the Mega Man 2 Randomizer scene. Been around for quite some time and been around for multiple tournaments. But these two basically have quite a couple of interesting runs. So, of course, Siberian Bull comes by way going by Swift and Snape. Snape pretty much put Siberian Bull to the wall, but Siberian Bull clutching the death match out and getting his way to the Grand Finals. Meanwhile, Casual Tom, while not undaunted, also still hasn't lost a match in Winners. So whether this could be the downfall of Casual Tom, or at least get one ding on the notch, could be interesting. But we'll see. Siberian Bull 9 is not gonna make things easy for him, and as the one who's starting the picks off, as you can see, we're on Tournament D, which is Siberian Bull's pick. So it will be zipless format, but the stages will be hidden.
Yeah, hidden stages. Yay, no zips. Hey, I'll tell you what, it is. There's a strategy all in itself with this. Pick a flag set. I mean, you can try to pick your favorite flag set, but if your opponent likes the flag set, then hey, you know, you might be doing them favors. Then there's also, like, you can pick a flag set you're not so comfortable with, that your opponent's not so comfortable with, and yeah, it all comes down to the nitty gritty and stuff in these choices. But yeah, like you said, Bull's picking Tournament D style, which would be zipless, no zips allowed, and hidden stage names, which means you could get, like, crash first. Well, then I guess you could reset. That's part of the rules. But if you get it second or third, you're pretty much too far in to reset. So you'll have to either be doing elevator rides, and then, like, you could give time up to your opponents. But speaking of time, these guys are on their way. Let me sync these guys up.
Yeah, you can see on Siberian Bull's end, we're getting quick, man. So Siberian Bull already with some decent luck. Casual Tom picking Bubble Man, usually early stage, which is not too difficult, but in this case, with this being zipless, you won't have that long corridor zip that you normally see in Bubble Man stage. So this stage being a little early, depending on the enemy set and how they are with the Buster interaction, can be a bit daunting, but we'll see in a little bit as Casual Tom's about to make way the what usually would have been the walk of shame, but not a walk of absolute requirement underwater. As we get our runners eventually synced up, we'll see how both our runners are faring. In Siberian Bull, not looking so hot right now, dealing with those enemies in the quick stage.
Yeah, and I see Casual Tom, you know, feeling a little bit festive, although we're not quite in the holiday season just yet. He's got Mega Claws. Love that sprite, by the way. but yeah, Bull. Ooh, man, he's I'd imagine no, he didn't. He's already past the halfway point, so he didn't stop for the fill up there. He's playing it pretty dangerously. He does have the E-Tank though, does he not?
You should definitely have the E-Tank. That's why you only go to quick first. Fortunately, like I said, he's even selected in spite of the hidden stage name, so very lucky on him. So hopefully he has it on tow. Meanwhile, Casual Tom doing the metal dance in the underwater in Bowman's room should be good to go, even though he wasn't particularly soft weak to the Buster, but able to get a decent fight in, taking care of that fight and getting item 3 for his trouble. So already Casual Tom in a decent setup. Just gotta continue on, but finds himself an airman now.
Yeah, item 3 is not going to do him any favors here in airman stage, but he's he's moving along. He fought Metal Man, like you said, did a little bit of dancing, and then Bull. Oh no, he did get sniped by a shrimp there, a little squirm enemy. No, sorry, that's not the squirm. That's man. I forget what the names of the shrimps are, but or the proper names, but not to overthink it. Yeah, and Bull finds his way to Flash, which is actually kind of the revealed stage name path that he's taken here. He found Quick first, he finds Flash second, and that's kind of the stages you want to go to because of easy E tanks in the beginning. It's not too, you don't get much advantages from items in these stages. So yeah, and they're shorter, doesn't take too long to do, and they're pretty easy to do with the Buster, all things considered, most of the time.
Yeah, taking a quick step back, you saw Siberian Bull fight that Heat Man. Unfortunately, that Heat Man wasn't Buster Southwick, so he had to take the very long path to fight him. So he's definitely probably gonna look for a weakness here for Heat Man when we get back to him in the refights. Meanwhile, Casual Tom, in spite of that early death in air, pretty much able to recover very quickly and is about to go to the boss door of Airman stage. Siberian Bull is about to do the same thing in Flash, so we're about to see some simultaneous boss fights in a moment. We got a crash in Flash, and a bubble in air.
Yes. Yeah, and Crash doing some jumping, but given a pretty good pattern here to where you could just kind of buster him down. But Bull actually opts to use the quick boomerang. We'll see if we get any items from these stages. And yeah, Tom finds item 2. So that time save right there was in air. So moving along, Tom's gonna make it to wood. Bull making it to heat. Not exactly one of the stages you want to go to without any items.
Yeah, you definitely would have hoped to have at least an item 2 or an item 3, and this is not a good Heat Man. We have reached the Joe Kano. Literally, Joe's as far as the eyes can see, from the Sniper Joes themselves to the actual Joe Max. Fortunately, the quick boomerang is actually making this a little bit more manageable, but as you can see, unless you have something that can take care of those enemies as quick as possible, you are more than likely taking a big old beating trying to get out and get into some safer ground. Meanwhile, Casual Tom, as said, going to a Woodman stage. Casual Tom probably attempted to do zips. Not only with zipless, the zipless format is actually pre-coded to make sure that the zip words do not move you to the right. It actually moves you to the left. So a little bit of a muscle reflex on Tom's end. But stuff to keep in mind as we go through this zipless set. There also, as mentioned, even though we do zip to the left due to coding, there are some niche situations where leftward zips can still happen, but they are very few and far between, so we really shouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, Tom trying to take the item 2 right here in the treehouse. He's going to get messed up by those ear jesters, and those are the squirm. That's what's called the squirm enemy, which is the toothpaste dispenser. But yeah, that's unfortunate, but he will still be able to ride item 2 in the back half, assuming the enemy set allows him to do so. Meanwhile, Bull makes it through Heat Man stage. Oh, and look at that, he's got his old emote, or his old thumbnail player character sprite, whatever you want to call it, as the boss door sign. So Bull finds Flashman in Heat stage. But you know, Bull's got to be feeling himself when he sees that. You know, you see the stuff that in the randomizer that have been put in from being like a good long community member, and it kind of powers you up, if you will. It gives you motivation. Bull's going to find item 1 in Heatman stage. He's going to land in Crash, and Casual Tom is going to take out the boss there in Woodman stage, which I believe might have been Quickman, and finds himself in Quickman stage.
Yeah, we're gonna see how much the unfortunate detour that he pretty much set Siberian Bull back, because as you all have already saw, that Casual Tom does have item 2 in tow, so that item 2 is gonna wind up giving a little bit of extra time in his favor when he does eventually find Heat. Meanwhile, Siberian Bull finding Crash fortunately does have item 1 from Heat, as stated before, and is definitely going to be using it for these moving platform rooms. Unfortunately, got some lag fears that's going to slow things down a little bit, but shouldn't be too much trouble. Once again, just going to put that item 1 to work and just get by these stages and continue on through the midpoint and just continue the stage proper. Meanwhile, Casual Tom dealing with the enemies that gave SB a little bit trouble. Casual Tom a little bit more better in terms of health, going through the force beam section, which should not give him any trouble. So he's gonna be heading towards the boss room of Quickman stage in relatively short order. Siberian Bull continuing to use the item 1 as intended, making sure that he uses every little bit of it to try to make the vertical climb as quickly as possible. Casual Tom using a little niche uses of item 2, just making sure to get a little bit extra time flying the item 2 across the final screens of Quick before finding Heat. But let's see if he finds a weakness for Heat as opposed to Siberian Bull when he first fought him with pretty much nothing.
Yes, he did. He finds Crash Bomb. That Crash Bomb seemed to melt Heat. I didn't exactly get to see the where his health bar is, but man, the end of that health bar disappeared. And Bull went left side. He had 2 item 1s for his climb. He ended up utilizing 1, which could have been dangerous if he would have misplaced the one that he needed to go around after getting that E-Tank. But Bull, being you know, the veteran runner he is, went ahead and handled that situation pretty nicely. However, those situations can't even happen to veterans. Oh, I think Bull accidentally burned an E-Tank there, so unfortunate about that. But he did take out the boss pretty quickly, and he's moving on to his 5th Robot Master stage. Tom finds himself in Flash, and he's making his descent toward the boss room.
Yeah, the Woodman that Siberian Bull followed definitely could have been a worst case scenario. The way the leaves rise and fall are random, and it was rising leaves, but fortunately the leaf shield speed that Woodman fired was pretty fast. You could have definitely had a situation where you could have had multiple leaf shields on screen at a time, and it could have been a cluster to deal with. So Siberian Bull fortunately didn't have to deal with that. Meanwhile, Casual Tom is about to go into Flash room. I already forgot who the Robot Master is. Both these runners pretty much taking out these guys in such a brisk fashion. Yeah, Crash. We're seeing a Crash run back here on Casual Tom's end, trying to dig for weaknesses.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, this Crash, man, he seems to be quite a bit more jumpy than the one that Siberian Bull had. However, Tom's going to go ahead and take care of him. He uses the Metal Blade to deal most of the damage to him, finishes him off with a Buster. Bull makes quick work of Metal Man stage. He's towards the end now. We'll see the boss in here. And that's going to be Airman.
And actually, that's a pretty fortunate pit. As you can see, he's not really being blown away. The conveyors actually take priority over the actual tornado, so you can actually use that to your advantage and get a butt ton of damage and shots on Airman. So Siberian Bull using that knowledge to his absolute advantage and just annihilates airman who takes 4 damage from the Buster, so he's one of our 4 Buster South Week enemy bosses, and take care of business on his way to Bubble Man.
Yeah, we'll see how Tom deals with the back half of this heat stage as well. He does have item 2, so he can either opt to ride it across the pillar section here, or he'll save it for the back end, it looks like. Yeah, so he will be able to pick up a little bit of time that Bull didn't get, because Bull had to do the Yoku block section here.
Well, having a little bit of trouble timing the Yoku blocks on that one particular pillar, having to use item 3 to at least try to get something going, but once again is able to continue forward progress, and as you mentioned, got item 2, so definitely about to save a little bit of time compared to Siberian Bull, since SB was forced to do the Yokus legit. So Casual Tom doing the friendly flight over the Yokus, about to go into the Heatman boss room, where I believe we had a Flashman awaiting, while Siberian Bull gonna try to do the metal dance underwater. A very good trick you're able to do, because all Robot Masters are subject to underwater physics. So if you get Metal Man here, and he's not overly spammy, you can actually get him to dance as Siberian Bull showcased. Meanwhile, Casual Tom finding Flash, manipulating him with the Metal Blaze, keeping him pretty much cornered, and taking care of things to get an item 1 for his prize.
Yeah, that puts Tom in go mode, if there is such a thing. Gonna have all his items. He's got Crash Man and Metal Man stage to deal with, and yeah, so he'll be able to either ladder boost the right side, the classic vanilla strategy, or even use item 1, item 2 to get across up the left side. Save maybe a little bit of extra time off of Bull's run there through Crash. However, Bull is on his way to find his item 2 in Airman stage, and Bull has Woodman left, which is one of the longer stages. So if I were to have to put, say, a lead, or somebody who's in the lead on at this point, I would have to say maybe Tom, seeing that he's halfway through just about his Crash stage, which is his longer stage, and Metal Man, which isn't quite as long, is the stage he has left.
Yeah, we'll definitely find out when they eventually converge for the Wily stages, but Casual Tom with a slightly favorable route, at least in terms of items, definitely gives him an inkling of an advantage, but we'll see once all 8 robos are done. Meanwhile, Siberian Bull taking care of Bubble right now. Gonna see if he can find the weakness, trying to find something to make this fight a little bit faster and have that little bit of extra information going to Boss Rush. But right now, having a little bit of trouble finding anything. Not gonna try Flash, which is, I would say, kind of smart, because there's always a chance that the Time Stopper can refill Robot Master's health. So I think sticking with that is probably a wise decision, considering that he's already deep into the fight. Regardless, Bubble Man has been down. Woodman is next on Siberian Bull's side for the final Robot Master. And Casual Tom just a few screens away from his 7th boss fight.
Yeah, so yeah, Tom didn't exactly have the best of elevator sections here in Crashman stage. I'd say Bull might have had a cleaner one, which might also go into count, because Bull is in his last stage. He might be at the halfway point by the time Tom gets into Metal. Yeah, Tom fighting Woodman here in Crash stage.
Yep, manages to take out Woodman with not too much issue. Once again, it was just fortunate that the Alicia was going by as fast as it was with the reverse rising leaves. So both our runners pretty much running a little stride for stride. It's kind of hard to tell who's going to be ahead. Siberian Bull still has the remaining portions of Woodman stage, including the top of the treehouse left, while the shorter stage, Metal Man, is on Casual Tom's side. So we're going to see who's going to be able to get to their Robot Masters first, and even when whoever gets first, who kills them faster.
Right. Yes, indeed. Yeah. I remember Tom doing Woodman stage. I don't recall the Robot Master in here, which tells me that perhaps it was a fast fight. Metal Man stage, I believe, had Airman in it, but that Airman wasn't terrible to deal with. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Both have item 2, and they're both on the back end of their stages here. Tom getting sniped by the Space Monkeys. So he's gonna have to do his item 2 right again. Oh, and he's making a pit stop.
So we indeed had a quick man. Yeah, we had a quick man sighting our furry woman, rather. But yeah, Starbeat to the Buster goes down lickety split, and Siberian Bull is our first to go to the Wily stages. So Casual Tom should not have as much trouble taking care of Airman, who pretty much was complete bro and follows suit not very far behind. So it's a very, very close match between SB and Casual Tom, as both make way to, yeah, it's actually Cossack.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I'd say Tom's maybe 20 seconds behind. Let's see, 1830 drop in for Siberian Bull, and while I'm timing that, you guys can make your guesses for the dragon and dragon color, etc., etc. 15 seconds would be the time that Casual Tom's behind, dropping it at 1845.
So yeah, while Charlie Boy is our non-believer in our game, shame on you, Nix. Nah, but seriously.
Oh dear.
But seriously, get your guesses in quickly, because SB is already on the climb to the dragon. Once again, we got a couple of sprite designs. We got our vanilla dragon, we got our shades dragon, we got our evil eye dragon, which you can also say for shades. You also have the Oats dragon, our swag dragon, our unicorn style dragon with a cute horn, our dragon corn as you like to so call it, and our newest sprite, the Yoshi dragon. So get those guesses in, and if you get them correct, I'll just virtually nod my head in approval. That's as good a
There you go. Alright, what's your guess, Creed? What do you got?
Since we got little time left, I'm just gonna do one of my usuals. True Blue Dragon, weak to Buster, and it's gonna be, let's say Yoshi Dragon. I want it to appear again.
Alright, my classic is Red Metal. That's a shade of red, right?
I'm not gonna count that.
If you guess pink, you win. Yeah.
Like I said, I did nod my head in approval.
Yeah. We're nodding our heads, indeed. And Bull is having trouble here finding the. Oh, he finds Bubble though. Finding the weakness there. Tom also finds Bubble. It's kind of hard to see Tom, but he does indeed take care of the dragon there.
Yeah, once again, just kind of just closing the gap here. Looked like caught up quite a bit, so I probably would say the execution was a little bit better on Tom's end. That, or part of the weaknesses, was a little bit faster on Tom's end as well. Once again, those little instances that wind up putting things a little bit on an interesting keel, and as a result, Casual Tom takes the lead. Siberian Bull's getting stuck in idle in menuing.
Yeah, Tom does indeed take the lead. I mean, back and forth. Anybody's race, guys. On the edge of your on the edge of our seats. And shout outs to old Donnie Retro in chat, who says hello to us. We see you out there, bud. Yeah. yeah, Tom, Bull making their way to Pico Pico. We'll see what cosmetic we have this time. Is it going to be invisible one? Is it going to be what is it going to be weak to? If you'd like to continue your guessing game, go ahead and get your guesses in now. Oh, and Bull overtakes the lead once again. Oh no!
Yeah, so Tom slightly misjudging that jump for the item 3. Pausing, thinking makes it, but thanks to our new pause canceling, that wound up working against Casual Tom, making the item 3 disappear. So once again, as stated, the lead just switched hands, but it's still very, very minimal.
Oh, and Tom makes the stop for the health. Ooh.
And probably gonna need it.
Spicy. Oh, is that a lazy leaf?
No, but that was a 2-shot leaf. He ain't using that.
Ooh, 1-shot heat Bull finds. Tom has plenty of E-tanks to deal with this, though. Is that... Oh, Quick Boomerang is also what Tom finds for the weakness there. And looks like he's sticking with it. So Bull will have a little bit of a faster fight here.
Yeah, in terms of ammo consumption, Quick Boomerang definitely is the way to go. The one-shotting with the atomic fire is not necessarily recommended because you're probably going to be farming for a little bit of a ammo refill on the heat, especially since it's supercharged. But it's just way too fast, and you're definitely gonna. It's worth the sacrifice for the ammo refill as Siberian Bull is about to make.
Yeah, I'll take the pit stop over the danger that comes with shooting 5 shots at Invisible Pico. But I feel you, for sure.
SB finding the magic spy, getting through our space monkeys and not taking any kind of damage at all. A very clean Iron 2 fly. Meanwhile, Casual Tom's about to just walk it, so gonna be losing a little bit of time, taking the scenic route compared to SB, which is not gonna matter. Not as much.
Pucker up there, Bull. Kissing them spikes. Oh man, that's unfortunate. He's gonna lose a little bit of time on that, but to the respawn. But thankfully, he's at the checkpoint, so doesn't make much of a difference. Maybe like 5 to 10 second detriment there.
But the race being this close is probably gonna matter more than you think. With Casual Tom about to go into our Technodrome fight, which is Buster Week, fortunately. But still, very, very close between our two runners. SB about to be the first one to take it out. Casual Tom finding the good news about the Buster, picking it off just as fast, and once again, right on the heels of each other, Siberian Bull and Casual Tom about to go to Wally 4, where the supposed great equalizer awaits.
Yep, Bull gonna go ahead and stop for some refills here, and Tom is not, so he's gonna go ahead and retake the lead. Man, get your syncs ready in chat, because these guys are bound to sync up at least once or twice somewhere. But regardless, yeah, item 3 doing some item 3 boosts. Siberian Bull is. Tom's just making the climb regularly without the item. So.
And yeah, if these two are so close, we actually gotta make a very, very important note, because well, never mind. I was about to say we could be in tiebreaker situation here, but that drop puts them out of tiebreaker range. That's a pretty significant setback considering how close these two are right now.
Commentator's curse, cough, cough, doesn't exist. No. Yeah, that's unfortunate for Bull, man. Like, that's those false floors and the strategies runners use to try to go faster in them. Like, for instance, using item 1 to skip having to go all the way to the right side of the screen and go up the ladder. And I mean, it's a good strat, yeah, but I mean, you got to keep in mind, like, in these tournament races and whatnot, yeah, these strategies can slow you down if you mess them up, like, but they can also pay dividends if you don't. So I respect the attempt for it, but at the same time, man, that does put him a screen behind Tom at the current time.
Yeah, definitely high risk, high reward. You want to do some of the fastest strats, but in a race scenario, it might not always be the best option. And as you can see, in one of the potentially it could cost Siberian Bull the match, but we still have quite a ways to go, especially with Boo Beam approaching. We still don't necessarily know the wall weakness, and whatever the wall weakness is, it's not going to be the Boo Beam weakness. So we have no idea how long they're going to be hunting for weaknesses in that fight, which is coming up, especially on Casual Tom's end, who's going to be the first one to go into hunt mode.
Yeah, I was about to swap his audio over, but it looks like somebody did it for me.
We were kind of in the same hive mind. I was doing it at the same time.
Yeah, finds the air for the wall weakness. Hasn't exactly got to shoot the beams themselves yet to find the weakness for that. Bull joins him in the fight, checks his metal, checks Crash Bomb first. I don't know if he let that explode, but that's okay. Checks his wood, that's not it. Tom's still scrolling through his, is it Crash? There it is. Crash Bomb is the weakness to the Boo Beams. Bull has found the weakness to the walls. And Tom is almost out of this fight. Ooh, it's one of those funky ones. I hate this kind of, this Boo Beam right here, because it takes 2 shots, and sometimes the Crash Bomb just doesn't hit it right, and you can waste extra ammo, yada yada yada. It's annoying to deal with. However, Bull finds it as well. Tom finds his way into the refights.
The Casual Tom definitely in the driver's seat right now, but Siberian Bull is right on his heels. We might have one Robot Master down before Siberian Bull makes landfall into the boss rush room. But right now, once again, it's an extremely close matchup, and of course, you're probably gonna wind up trying to manage the ammo situation that you might be in deficit in, and that is an amazing. That was Crash Bomb. That was the ultimate weakness. A 2-shotter. That knowledge winds up could be a very important situation. Once again, it is so extremely tight between our 2 runners. Any kind of advantage is gonna be extremely vital to who's gonna be the first to deal with the Wally machine.
Yeah, indeed. Like, yeah, these guys. It's gonna come down to weaknesses, execution. Just and who finds the machine, who finds the alien first. I mean, these guys are so close together. I think Bull might know some weaknesses because he did some searching. Tom might know some weaknesses. He did a little bit of searching. Might not, man. I mean, but yeah, these guys. This is a nail biter, right down to the wire. This one will be.
Once again, shout out to Chubashin Chungus, who goes the extra mile to show you the progress of our Robot Masters who have already been defeated. Right now, it shows that Casual Tom has 2 left going across the screen for one set of Robot Masters, while SB is currently on the 6th Robot Master dealing with our Fairy Woman like Quickman, and got 2 more Robot Masters to go. So Casual Tom taking care of Crash. Not sure if I approve going Buster in this route. I think I will probably be willing to hunt for a weakness here, because this is a pretty lengthy fight otherwise.
Ooh, Bull cutting it kind of close on that Woodman, but he's going to go ahead and make it out. He's going to refill one of his Crash Bombs here, not go across the room. Tom is in the machine, though.
Definitely not weak to the Buster, but quickly finds the quick boomerang. But is it going to be weak for the second phase, as Tom does input some little bit of juice box? Alright, so not weak to the second phase, so we're going to do some digging for the second phase. And it's air shooter. Whether it's good for both phases, we don't know. But that doesn't matter. Right now, we have Casual Tom already out of the Wally machine, going to Victory Row. Siberian Bull about to find out. Quickly finds air shooter on his own right. Just once again, wait, what's up, SB? Ooh, I'm not taking a risk. But then again, I'm not sure about his E-Tank situation, so it was quite a bit of a gamble going for those last little bits.
I know he had 2 E-Tanks at the Invisible Pico. I'm not sure. I didn't watch his E-Tank consumption since then, but yeah, it looks like he was out.
And Siberian Bull going to the left, going for weapon refills. Not sure that's a wise decision, considering that Casual Tom is already at Wily. Alien who's... I am not sure what this is. I want to say it had a Mario sprite in between transformation. Could be Tatanga? For all I know, I don't know. It's a blob that needs to be destroyed. And that is official. It was Vanilla Weakness, Casual Tom finishing with a official SRL, I was about to say SRL, race time.gg time of 32 minutes and 7 seconds. Very solid run. Very solid run.
We're old. We used to use IRC. It was nice.
Some old habits die hard, apparently. But yeah, Siberian Bull finding our Sir Snake-like bubble, getting the kill, but unfortunately sees the writing on the wall, but finishes in second place time with a very respectable time of 32 minutes and 43 seconds. So Casual Tom does go one up on SB, but we'll see if Casual Tom can pretty much put the nail in the coffin, as Casual Tom is gonna choose our next settings for race 2, but we'll have that in a quick moment. So sit back, hang tight, and we'll be right back with all the good Mega Man 2 randomizer action here on SpeedGaming Prime. See you in a little bit.
Yes sir, yes sir. All right, all right, all right. Welcome back. My name is Charlie Boy, joined here by LV Creed with 2% Chungus in the background tracking. This will be race 2 between Siberian Bull 9 and Casual Tom. This is the winners finals of the SpeedGaming Live 2025 Mega Man 2 Randomizer Tournament. How you doing, LV Creed?
I'm doing fine, Charlie boy. We had ourselves a pretty tight-knit race in our first go-around, but this time, with Casual Tom making the settings this time, right now, I think Casual Tom really wants to put the dagger in. For right now, we're doing it won't show itself on the title screen, but make sure that this is definitely Tournament A, which is any percent steps allowed, and stage is revealed. But Casual Tom opted to add Burst Chaser, which Siberian Bull did agree to. So our boy's about to go fast.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So there is a set of vetoable options. In other words, you can choose these, but it's kind of like a gentleman's agreement type thing. And the racer, your opponent, can say no to these kind of things. Like Burst Chaser's one of them. Buster Only is another one. Like, we wouldn't want people to go out of their comfort zone if they're not comfortable doing it. Difficulty, which used to be normal difficulty. Our randomizer actually changed the difficulties from previous years easy, normal, meme difficulties back to the vanilla normal difficult from Mega Man 2. Regardless, yeah, Burst Chaser, these guys are off and running. And they will be able to choose their path. So Siberian Bull finds himself in Flashman stage. Tom is going to go to Quickman stage first.
So yeah, this choice definitely is in Casual Tom's neighborhood. Every time Casual Tom has chose settings, he always chose Burst Chaser, and every time he chose Burst Chaser, he winds up being the winner of that match. So Siberian Bull is kind of up against the 8-ball, going against someone who actually is very adept at the high speeds. However, I'm pretty sure SB is not gonna go unchallenged here. And
I'm gonna tell Tom no. If I make it to Tom, I'm telling him no.
Regardless, Regardless, we did have a sighting of Metal Man and Flashman within their respective screens, but both of them pretty much got absolutely erased. But Siberian Bull finds item 2 for his prize. But of course, with these settings with Robot Masters revealed, they're gonna go to their usual stomping grounds. And we're just gonna have a little bit of a role reversal. Casual Tom going to Flash and Siberian Bull going to Quick. So Casual Tom will eventually get item 2. And we're gonna be on even pace by the time both of these guys are done with both Robot Masters.
Yeah, I'd say calling Tournament A in Burst Chaser might even be, well, I wouldn't say it's detrimental, but adding zips to Burst Chaser, like, some of the zips are actually slower than just doing traversing the stage normally in Burst Chaser mode due to the high velocity of speed.
Some of them are flat out harder to do at some points. Good wood could actually be a little bit of a focusing point, because you're gonna be a little bit off placement when you're going through some of the screen transitions. So some of these zips can be flat out off the table. Casual Tom taking care of Flash and Flash Room. SB should be taking care of Metal Man in relative short order. And there you go. Yep. Both our runners are pretty much even. And are we gonna have a sense of divergence, or they're gonna just go straight to Bubble, which seems to, well, SB is going to diverge to the password screen, lose a couple of seconds.
Yeah, that's in fact the case there. Bull accidentally pressing that password button. That is a feature that is in the randomizer now that the password and stage select options have been by default swapped from the vanilla game to make stage select the default and password the secondary option. However, in the tournament, we have opted to put it as default Mega Man 2. Most runners have the muscle memory to press select there, so that's why we did it this year. Perhaps next year we'll have to see how runners feel about it, and swap it to have stage select as the default. But yeah, as I talk and tell you guys about our new option in the randomizer for that, these guys have made it all the way through Bubble and Metal stage respectively, and Tom finds Quickman in the boss room, and Bull finds Heat.
Quickman being Southbeat to the Buster, Siberianbull keeping the Metal Blades as it's actually doing 4 pairs of damage, soft weakness damage. It doesn't have to worry about doing any extra menuing to find a more suitable weakness. So I think that was a smart decision on Siberianbull's end to not to lose so much time trying to do the good old weakness hunt. Casual Tom starting Woodman stage while Siberianbull is doing some familiar territory, going through the stage that Casual Tom just finished in Bubble.
Hey, you know, he could zip here. I know Bull doesn't zip, but the option is there. The bubble zip is one of the easier zips to do, and especially in Burst Chaser, like, there's no reason really not to go for it. You just hold right after you drop down. You don't even have to pause buffer, I don't think, or maybe just one pause, you know? Like, you save time there, period. Oh, yeah, and Bull does go for it.
SB successfully doing the bubble zip and should be continuing on his merry little way, going to eventually, well, a few screens, if he's able to survive, gonna be facing off against that Quickman in Bubble Room. Meanwhile, we're about to get some new information, see who's about to be the boss in Woodman's boss room in a few seconds. So, who's Casual Tom about to fight?
We got Airman, or the Cookie Monster, whichever you prefer. I should really change those tornadoes to cookies. That would be great. But regardless, I don't know. I left it the way the ROM hack that it came from. I left it the way it came out of that ROM hack. So, but I could see cookies coming from that. That'd be cool. Regardless, both these guys find their way into Airman stage after their respective boss fights. And yeah, if you blink, you might miss some of the stuff here. Yeah, look at Tom, man. Oh no. I was like, he was doing a pretty good job of dodging those frogs there, but yeah, unfortunately the frog sniped him, but it also sniped Bull, so similar time loss there.
Yeah, it seemed to be par for the course for Airman stage. Airman stage is usually one of the most dangerous stages in the randomizer, with particular enemy placements, with some of them being extraordinarily dangerous. Frogs being potentially one of them, especially with the little babies. Well, actually, it's killing them with love. It's doing some yandere stuff, just sniping our opponents right out from the clouds, put them into the abyss below. But aside from that, both of them are recovering pretty well enough and making headway through the rest of Airman stage. SB getting a little bit better off using the Metal Blades, which are one shot on our blockies, and just moving on forward while Casual Tom is trying to use the pea shooter, but is having a little bit of a rougher time.
Yeah, that's indeed. And you know, both of these guys have item too, so you've got to question, like, I guess Burst Chaser is faster than riding the item. However, would it have been maybe more beneficial to ride the item over the blockies and not have to deal with them? Regardless, these guys are pretty much synced up getting out of the boss fights of Woodman.
Yeah, it's one of those crazy decisions where you want to utilize the movement of the Burst Chaser, because as you said, moving with Burst Chaser is far faster than actually using item 2 in a far bigger number of situations. However, depending on safety measures, you actually may want to use item 2 in order to bypass some of the nonsense that's going on below. So it's always the runner's discretion to try to choose which one is more race viable in comparison to, say, what you will probably do in any other situation.
Yeah, but Tom going ahead and finding himself in metal stage here. Bull finding himself in wood. Finds a leaf shield weakness to the hot dogs there, which took the shape of Mega Man 3 cats this time.
Thomas. Oh, he was not soft weakness strength with the Buster, so yeah, we are definitely looking for a weakness. You do not want to deal with the dance with a Heatman for any longer period of time, and it looks like you're gonna eventually find metal, as Siberian Bull eventually did from the very beginning, but SB took a much shorter time finding it, using it as soon as he had it equipped. So Casual Tom losing a little bit of time with the weakness dive. Meanwhile, SB is about to take care of our airman analog here. Checking time stopper for a potential weakness, but taking a little bit of a beating, doing the juice box, and gonna just plug out airman from there. So once again, just continuing on. Both our runners still running pretty evenly up to 6 Robot Masters so far.
Yeah, and they both have heat and crash stage left. So I mean, they've pretty much taken similar paths. Not, I mean, maybe a little bit of a different order, but left the two quote unquote harder stages on the table for the end. Ooh, Bull actually finding himself in the pit here at the beginning of Heatman stage, just due to the high amount of speed. Like, the velocity of the speed is like somewhat ridiculous. It's fun, don't get me wrong, it can be fun, but if you're not well versed in it, or it can be rough sometimes. The adjustments can be not ideal.
Casual Tom pretty much making literal short work of the Yoku blocks, thanks to all the high speeds. Already in the Heatman boss room, facing off against Crashman. Look like he's doing soft weakness damage, so stick with the Buster. Shouldn't be too long of a fight on Casual Tom's end, and right now, Casual Tom pretty much at a pretty notable advantage. Once again, just being very adept to burst chaser mechanics compared to Siberian Bull, who's flailing just a little bit, but still managing to keep pace. But the further Siberian Bull trails behind, the worse off he may wind up being.
Yeah, he's opting to go the Yoku blocks because he doesn't really have an item 2, but I would argue that if he would have rode item 2 most of the way, he could have probably just jumped and paused buffered for the amount that he didn't have left. But playing it a little bit more safer, especially in a race, and Burst Chaser, nevertheless, that I'm sure he's not as practiced in. Most of us are not. But Tom definitely is. You know, Tom plays these hacks like that's what he does most of the time, is play Mega Man 2 hacks. So he's definitely used to the Burst Chaser type stuff, which is good. You know, it's a lot of fun. Man, Tom just speeding through this Crashman stage. Most of the way through his Crashman stage, while Bull is just now getting out of heat. That rough Heatman stage is definitely going to cost him a little bit of time. Is this Chip and Dale music?
I think this is more Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck, yeah, okay. I know it was like some sort of Capcom property type thing.
But yeah, item 1 being absolutely static, so that being under normal circumstances was kind of out of the picture. There is a situation where you could use it using stationary item 1, but both of them opt not to do so. Casual Tom just literally rips into Bubble Man with the Metal Blade, doing ultimate weakness damage, so two-shotting him, as these are first going to our Bubble Castle, apparently.
Yeah, and I mean, with the speed, I'd argue the Bulls maybe about 40 seconds, 45 seconds behind. I mean, he should be done with the rest of this crash stage in no time, I'd imagine. We can find out. I'll do the drop-in timers while you guys can guess dragon colors. 1354 for Tom. I said dragon timers. I mean, guess the color of the dragon, guess the weakness of the dragon, and guess. And you better make it quick because these guys are going fast.
Yeah.
Color, weakness, and sprite.
Yeah, I'm just not even gonna try to make any guesses. Casual Tom's gonna be right on the dragon in a few moments. So if you want to do guesses in chat, be my guest, but you gotta be as fast as Tom, because in a few seconds you're about to see ourselves a dragon. That is an evil-eyed anime-style shades dragon. But not weak to the crash bomb, and nothing in the second page. No buster, keep digging, not air shooter, continue to dig. Look, I thought it was quick boomerang, sprite limitations make it a little bit rough. But finds Bubble and just pretty much just washes out the dragon, and going on to Wally 2.
And for those who are keeping tabs on Bull's drop-in, it was 15:04 or 05, I believe. So that's a little bit over a minute and 10 seconds behind. I was a little bit off. I said 45 seconds. More like about a minute and 10. It doesn't necessarily mean he's lost yet. I mean, anything can happen. Burst Chaser and Wily 4's still here. Machine's still here. Alien's still all in table. You know, I mean... And the speed of the Burst Chaser is just so fast. So we'll see how the rest of this plays out. But yeah, Tom's doing a pretty good job. He's we'll see how he handles Burst Chaser against this Pico Pico.
SB carefully trying to navigate the single blocks, wisely doing one block at a time, not trying to overstep the leaping, and gonna try to do the usual digging. Meanwhile, Casual Tom's about to see what our Pico Pico units are about to be. And let's see, is it gonna be a troll or is it gonna be something favorable? And it is a Blob Pico, so definitely favorable, at least visually. But of course, since it's a visible Pico, one of the newest additions that we have is that the Pico Pico units, where they spawn, is absolutely randomized. So Casual Tom will not know the order of the Pico units. So you got to be very careful about where he stands. Where he could stand could be, yep, something like that. Fortunately, he does have enough health to survive the shot and is able to get to the juice box to continue on to the fight.
Yeah, Tom doing a pretty quick work on this Pico unit with the quick boomerang and his Mega Claws outfit. That was a nice addition. I enjoyed creating that.
Siberianbull about to go into our Blob Pico. Casual Tom did find quick boomerang as one of the major weaknesses. Let's see if SB finds something a little more useful. It looks like digging through the weapons, it probably looked like it was gonna be charged heat. That was the third weakness. Whether it was one shot or two shot, we're never gonna know because Siberianbull. Wait, no, we're actually gonna find out. And it's one shot, but how much weapon ammo is using? It Looks like very high ammo consumption. Is it 2 per? It looks like it's 2 per. Not sure. While focusing on SB, Casual Tom pretty much just blows through Wally 3, which would have been a very tough spot, especially with that dive, spike dive. Finds air shooter, takes out the guts tank almost instantly, and onward to Wally 4 we go.
Yeah, Wily 4. Let's see how Tom handles it. Bull is also dropping into Wily 3. Still a full stage behind at this point, but yeah, Tom's burst chaser statistics are definitely unmatched currently.
Yeah, the adaptability Tom in these settings, and this is what I'm talking about. How is Siberian Bull gonna take care of this dive?
Oh, no pause buffer necessary.
Very expertly done.
Very strong.
Meanwhile, Casual Tom in our anxiety rooms. Looks like we got Superior bot sightings. We're gonna see if it's gonna be directly in above Casual Tom on the next screen, but it might not even matter because once again, we do, thanks to our new pausing capabilities, we can actually cancel the knockback damage under normal circumstances. That hit would have easily meant you are falling straight down into the pits and having to do some scrambling not to die to the spikes after the iframes disappeared.
Oh man, finds leaf shield for the boo beam weakness. He's gonna have to get some items set up a little differently to get it across there, and he sure does. And well, I think he's gonna go. Oh no, nope, not worrying with the walls. I don't blame him, and he's out. Very nice. And Bull's halfway through the first half of Wily 4. On the other hand.
Movement issues trying to navigate the boobing room to get those final hits, but Casual Tom, undaunted, continue on through the boss rush with some relatively fitting music, some high-speed Sunstar to go with some high-speed boss fight action. Fire on fire violence, insane damage with the atomic fire. Not ultimate weakness strength, but definitely enough to put Heatman's fire out. Casual Tom continuing the boss rush, opted to stick with Buster. Flashman is definitely a boss that really doesn't need too much hunting. Very easy boss, very manipulable. So stick with the Buster there. Casual Tom continuing on, knowing that Crash is Buster South Beach, so stick with the Buster there. Continuing on, moving on to the next Robot Master in question as Siberian Bull finds the leaf shield weakness for the boobing turrets.
Yeah, Bull's fight went just a little bit cleaner there, as he didn't fall, kind of like Tom did fall, but neither one had to find the wall weakness, so that's always going to be a mystery to us. However, yeah, Bull's going to go ahead and join us in the refights, and Tom is on his 7th refight at this point.
Yep, remembering that super weakness on Bubble using metal, Siberian Bull doing the same thing, going the opposite direction. But Casual Tom on the final Robot Master, about to be the first to go into the Wily fight. Gonna see if he's weak to the Buster, or we're gonna be doing some weakness digging. Happy day, happy day. Probably the best weakness you can ask for. Buster being the weakness for the Wily machine, always weak in both phases if that's the case, and just literally grinds the Wily machine to dust on his way to the Wily machine. I mean the Wily alien, pretty much all but guaranteeing his spot in the grand finals. But if he gets a good clean alien kill. Alright, we got alien sighted. This unearthly crystal that stands between Casual Tom and victory. Gonna dig for weaknesses and quickly finds Lesion and it decimates the crystal. Casual Tom ensuring his spot in grand finals, winning our match with official racetime.gg time of 24 minutes and 8 seconds.
Yeah, GG's. Get your GG's to Tom in chat. Let's see here. Let me ask Tom to join the commentary post-race interview. There you go. That way we can get some words from Tom, and I'll do the same with Bull.
But yeah, siberianbull finding the Buster weakness. Not sure about his E-Tank situation. It looks, if he's not popping in the E-Tank now, that means his E-Tank situation is pretty dire. No E-Tanks in store, otherwise he definitely would have done it already. So he gotta be a little bit more mindful about the damage he takes on the Wily machine. But at this point, I think he should be at a safe enough health to take care of the second phase and continue moving on. And now he's gonna be on his way to victory road. Unfortunately, by now, if he's been keeping up with the race time timer, he knows that unfortunately he's not gonna be moving on to the grand finals, but he will still be alive, waiting for whoever is gonna be facing him in the bottom bracket finals.
What up, Tom?
Hey,
GG's.
Thanks.
How you doing, my man? How you feeling?
Oh, pretty good. You know, just little mistakes here and there. First seed had me a little nervous when I dropped that jump in Airman stage. It just didn't come out. I guess I just waited too long. But other than that, you know, pretty good. I was practicing. I never practiced Burst Racer mode, and I wasn't at the time. But yesterday when I was just doing a regular practice seed, I missed the bubble zip again. So I gotta work on that. I can't keep messing that up, especially going into the grand finals.
But yes,
yeah, Bull's finishing up here, and he finds wood, and he's going to finish up with a time of 26:39.
GG.
Too many errors. Too many errors.
Yeah, but Burst Chaser is kind of something you need to kind of get used to at sometimes if you don't do it often. Trying to work with the high speed can definitely mess up some of the movement and some of the mentality about how you go about through some stages. But overall, you still held your own very well. It's just those smaller errors that wind up creeping up and adding up, signaling your downfall.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But yeah, and just overall views of the seas that you've gone through in general. Anyone, you, Bull, Tom, just run us down how y'all feeling about y'all races.
I got some good weaknesses, like not a whole lot, but I got like 1 or 2 in each seed. You know, in that second seed, I did something that like I hardly ever do. So I found a soft weakness for Heat because he was not Buster soft weak. So I found Metal. I was like, okay, but he was one of the later Robot Masters I fought. I actually took quick notes because I write everything down whenever I find a weakness. I took quick notes of like whatever weapons I didn't have, and then sure enough, I was able to find his weakness in Atomic Fire when I did the refights. So that was helpful. And then I think I got his weakness in the first seed too with Crash Bomb that killed him in like a couple hits. Got some strong weaknesses. I think Bubble weak to Metal, and I think it was the second seed went down like 2 hits as well. So a little bit of luck there. Just you know, some stupid deaths here and there too, but you know, it happens to everybody, I guess.
Yeah, I hugged the spikes past the checkpoint seed 1. I was not happy about that, and all I could think about think about when the seed finished. Like, well, there's the time loss.
What stage was that?
Wily 3.
I had a feeling, yeah.
Past the checkpoint and hugging them spikes. I don't know why I did that, but I did it.
I came really close. I was kind of surprised. I thought for sure I was going to die. One of those.
Alright, so pretty much nothing else to be worth of note. It's just Casual Tom. Once again, congratulations! You are the first entrant to be in our grand finals. Waiting for the rest of the bottom bracket to work out. Meanwhile, SB, you're just waiting for things to happen in the bottom bracket. We still got one more race coming up between my co-commentator Charlie Boys and Snape's matchup, which is gonna be tomorrow, by the way. We got more information about that. So I know Casual Town, you're sitting pretty, but SB, what are you hoping between Charlie Boy and Snape? Is there anyone you would rather race against, or you just don't matter? Just bring it on. I'm here. You got to beat me to get to the finals.
Just got to beat me to get to the finals. I think we'll just go with that. I'm not going to give anyone any bulletin board material. Just that, bring it on.
That's all that needs to be said. So with that, we can pretty much just wrap things up. Just, of course, any final shout outs or any other comments that you want to say before we wrap things up for the evening.
Thanks to commentators. Thanks to, I believe, was Chungus tracking? If so, thanks to you as well. Creed, Charlie, and then everyone for watching. And I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, Tom has to
Congrats, Bull.
That's why I chose Burst Church. No, GG's Tom. I guess after Charlie and Snape have their race tomorrow, I guess the losers final will be probably Saturday or Sunday because work constraints. But we'll figure that out when we get there.
Yep, and regarding that match, as mentioned, it will be tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight. So, of course, adjust your time accordingly. It will be, as always, within the Speed Gaming family of networks. Once again, shout outs to them for continuously hosting the Mega Man 2 Randomizer tournament for each SGL that allowed us to participate. Of course, shout outs to the Mega Man 2 Randomizer community at large. You know who you are, you know what you did. We're glad to have you. But of course, shout outs to Charlie Boy, my co-commentator and tournament organizer. Always glad to have you along with me. And of course, GG to a exciting event that's still not over, by the way, but still GG's all the same.
Yeah, guys, we're about to wrap this up. We've got 3 matches left. We got Losers Semis, which is myself versus Nate. Like everybody's saying, it's tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So make sure to tune into that. We got Losers Finals, which according to Bull, it should be or probably this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, maybe, assuming that Snape would have the availability as well. If he makes it through, I'm pretty sure I would if I make it through. So we'll see how that goes tomorrow. And then, and then shortly after that, grand finals, Tom versus whoever wins out of the 3 of us. So we're in top 4. We're almost wrapping this thing up. So without if there's nothing else, then I guess thanks everybody for watching. Big shout outs to Speed Gaming, like Creed said, and shout outs to Creed for commentating with me. Shout outs to Chungus for tracking, and if there's nothing else, I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, take care, everyone. We'll see you the next time.
See you then.
All right, later, guys.